with the season starting next year, I thought, you know what, let's go ahead and react to some of Adam Rank's predictions on how the rest of the AFC North is going to do. So today we're going to do the Pittsburgh Steelers. Guys like this video, we'll do the rest of the AFC North too. Let's go ahead and get right into it. I do have to put a little thing on the screen. You're going to see it's transparent, so you can still see the actual video. But I have to do this or else the NFL will take down my video. They're very huge about taking down videos, so let's go.
Let's take a look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, who got my guy Allen Robinson during the offseason.
Real fast, I will say, those Steelers have like one of the most easiest schedules possible. So them going absolutely amazing is heavily not surprising.
And I don't know if it's going to make a huge difference in week one, but I still see them beating the San Francisco 49ers, who will still be trying to figure out who their quarterback is going to be. But I see the Steelers losing right here, but getting a win against the Raiders. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle early on, even against the Texans. I know you see the Texans, you think that should be a victory, but I think Houston's going to be a lot better than people give them credit for. Then you got a loss to the Baltimore Ravens before the bye week. And as a matter of fact, I think it's going to be a little bit of a struggle in here. They're going to hit a little bit of a lull before they start reeling off a couple of victories here against the Tennessee Titans, against the Green Bay Packers, but losses against the Browns, loss to the Bengals, but you got the Arizona Cardinals. This is exactly what you need right here. Loss here, but a win over the Colts. We're going to do that. You will split the season series with the Cincinnati Bengals. Then it comes down to the end of the season against the Seattle Seahawks, against the Baltimore Ravens. I think you got it in. I got some.
All right, hold up. Let me break this down. 9-8. If they go 9-8 with that schedule, Tomlin getting fired. Kenny Pickett, that's all I'm talking about. New quarterback. No, on a real note though, no, not at all. I'm gonna start off right away. This comes from a Bengals fan here. They could start off this season off 5-0. It's very possible. The 49ers game is a cakewalk, and that is the stupidest, easiest game they gave them. If they were to give the 49ers game week 10 or week 11, it would have been a light years different game. Because Sam Darnold is starting week 1. Yup. Not Brock Purdy. They're not going to be in the rhythm. They're not going to know what quarterback they want and have their system together. It's going to be a cluster fluff of problems week 1, and Pittsburgh with a fully healthy TJ Watt. Here's another thing people don't understand. TJ Watt this year is fully healthy. He was not fully healthy last year. When he's fully healthy, he's one of the, if not, the best defensive players in the NFL. Like, they're going to do the 49ers week 1 with Sam Darnold at quarterback. Remember when Sam Darnold said he was seeing ghosts? Yeah. Even if, because I will say this, right? I could see week 1 the Steelers offense absolutely scoring almost no points. That's very possible. Because 49ers defense is that good. The 49ers offense, I think, is going to struggle so much under Darnold that the Steelers defense might score 2 touchdowns. Like, it's such an awful way to start off. Unless you're a Steelers fan, then you probably love that fact. But if you're not a Steelers fan, you're like, come on, man. You guys could have gave the 49ers any other week, and it would have been okay. Week 2, it's in Pittsburgh versus Cleveland. I truly believe this. Deshaun Watson's going to start off the year a little slow, right? I think eventually Deshaun Watson will become a great Cleveland Browns quarterback. I think he'll start off the year kind of slow, though. You know, he plays us, and then he plays Pittsburgh. He goes from playing at home and losing to playing Pittsburgh. I think he's going to lose that Pittsburgh Steelers game, too. I don't think Steelers are going to get swept by the Browns. I think they could lose that Week 11 game, because by that point, Deshaun Watson is ready to go and, you know, he's in his preparations, and he knows, like, this offense. But week 2, I mean, again, you had to keep in mind, he didn't play much last year. He played, 7 games last year? So he's still learning this Browns offense. They just got rid of Kareem Hunt. They brought in a brand new wide receiver. They are now using Nick Chubb as a wide receiver. So, like, it's going to be a whole system change for Deshaun Watson again. So I don't think the Steelers will lose that game. I think they're going to beat the Raiders. Okay, the Raiders don't really know what they're doing with Jimmy G, or he might not be healthy, so they might go with someone else. That's a mess. Texans, I don't think they'll lose to the Texans, because I think CJ Stroud will become a great quarterback. But he might not even start off the season. He might be the backup of Davis Mills. So that game is up in the air, and I don't think the Texans defense, while I think Will Anderson Jr. would be great, it still needs a little bit more pieces to become great. So that game, no. Ravens game's going to be tough, but this is in Pittsburgh, right? Now, what I will say is, here's how I kind of feel like the Ravens. I feel like they're going to start the season lightning, right? They usually do. And the reason why is because Lamar just got the contract. He just got paid. So he's going to start the season like, yeah, we're the best team in football. And I think that's how he's going to start the season. He's going to lose to the Bengals week 2. But I think they're going to start the season kind of like lightning and go win every game except for the Bengals game, and then feel like they're the best team in football. I think Pittsburgh could knock them back down, this one being in Pittsburgh, right? They're going to lose by week 18, but they're going to win this game because it's in Pittsburgh. It's kind of like it's a humbling moment, right? You think you're this S-tier team, and now you got to go against Pittsburgh, who is already 4-0 in the season, and kind of is like that, that block in your, like, humbling, or in your like, superstars experience. Then they go bye week. Okay, so 5-0. I think they beat the Rams, because I don't think the Rams are going to be that good. 6-0. I could see them losing to the Jags. The Jags is going to be a tough game. Tennessee Titans, it's so weird, because if they get DeAndre Hopkins, his offense completely changes. Their quarterback situation is still not that great, but you know what? I'll kind of put that up in the air. Let's say they beat Tennessee. Green Bay does come down to Jordan Love. He really does. At the end of the day, that game comes down to how good Jordan Love can progress. Let's say they win the Tennessee Titans and they win the Packers game and lose to the Jags. All right, so move you aside. Browns game. I think they lose this game. This is, again, in Cleveland. By this point, Deshaun Watson has, played his rounds. He's been on this team for a little bit of time. I think they get this win. Bengals win. That's 3 losses. They beat the Cardinals. I think they beat the Cardinals, they beat the Patriots, and they beat the Colts. All 3 of those games are very winnable. 2 of them are in Pittsburgh, and the only game away is Anthony Richardson. And I think Anthony Richardson, again, another guy I think is going to be a great quarterback in this league. I don't want to, take shots at that. I think he'll be a great quarterback, but I think it will take him time to progress. If any of those 3 games could they lose, because at this point, Kyler Murray will be back, but I'm not sure if they're even going to play Kyler Murray, because why would you play him if you're 0-10 or 0-11, because he's supposed to be off the first 11 weeks of the season? They might do it because the Cardinals are really just at that point where they're like, listen, we need anything we can to get any kind of wins. But the Patriots could be a tough game. So that one I'm on the fringe about, because that could be a loss. That the Patriots play the Steelers tough. They have played the Steelers tough the whole entire career. So that could be a loss. And this Bengals game, that's going to be a loss. So that's 5 losses if they lose to the Patriots. Seahawks, I think that's a win. And I think the Ravens are a loss. So, realistically speaking, I'm going to have the Steelers go 10-7 or 11-6. And I think they could go 12-5 if everything balances out correctly and they don't lose these games that they can win. So, I think the high end for the Steelers is 12-5 and the low end is 10-7. I don't understand how you could say 9-8. This schedule is so Mickey Mouse schedule for them. You're literally handing them an amazing schedule. The Bengals, while yes, our schedule is not the toughest schedule, we're a good team. We're going to take care of business. The Steelers are almost Mickey Mouse clubhousing their schedule. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.